Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Codtails here, and we are going to spend today talking about Call of Duty Warzone. Now, more specifically, we're going to talk about the most popular rumors, speculations, and whatever might be happening in Season 4 and beyond. Now, earlier this week on Monday, I talked about, multiplayer and what's going to be coming from that end. And I wanted to split these videos up because I thought Warzone in and of itself would take its own video because of the amount of content and teasers and predictions and everything that might be going on with Warzone. So yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about really what's the most prominent and well-known theories and what might be happening and what my personal opinions are on all of them. And as always, before we get started, just make sure you smash that like button, comment down below what you think and your opinions are about Warzone and what's going to be going on in the future. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. When we're talking about Warzone and the changes coming to it, nothing is bigger than probably Bunker 11 and the secrets it holds, specifically as you're about to see the nuclear warhead just sitting right there within 5 feet of your players. So I personally don't believe that the nuclear warhead is going to be used on Verdansk right at the beginning of Season 4. I think that is going to be something down the line. I think that is a huge possibility to transition us into Urzikstan if and when it eventually comes through. However, I don't think that it's going to be currently a part of the destruction of Verdansk at the moment. I think this map still has potential and stuff to offer. So I don't think they're going to, Activision and Infinity Ward are going to throw that away yet. I think that is definitely an end game option. I think that the nuclear warhead will be used at some point, just not in the beginning. And leading us into one of the reasons why I don't think it's going to be used in the beginning happens to be two places, really. First is the dam. Now, if you watch in the beginning or the trailers for Warzone, you saw in select footages that there was water flowing throughout the dam. Now, could that have been a mishap? Sure, not likely, but it could have been. But I believe that the dam actually will, in some way, shape, or form, start flowing again, and there will be water flowing through it. Now, what I could see happening is that the dam gets destroyed. That would be a very, very potential possibility. I could see the dam actually being destroyed. But I do think water will flow throughout the map, whether it be destroyed or just the dam is just flowing. And that could lead us to using boats like Blackout, for those of you that have played, using boats to traverse the map. In the second location, piggybacking off of the dam, happens to be the stadium. Now this, if we are being teased and this is actually going to be opened in Season 4 to be looted, this quite possibly might be the best thing coming to the map, because this place severely will become a hot spot and a hot drop, even though it already kind of is, and it's not even open, because it's surrounded by so many good looting areas and it's right on the outside of downtown. So I could see the stadium being opened as kind of a parlay and kind of like a delay of destroying the map and giving us something new. We could find more teasers in there about what may be happening to the map if we do move to Urzikstan. And I think it would be a great direction to open the stadium, because it would just make it a lot more fun to play through, because the building is massive. You could go through the roof. You could probably find your way to the roof if they found, maybe tweaked it a little bit so you can get to the top of the stadium. It would just be a really cool thing to kind of add in and let us go through. A lot of gunfights. It would add on to the downtown madness that's already there. But with that being said, another possibility with Warzone is that there are numerous train tracks going throughout the map. Specifically on the right edge of the map, kind of close to one of the bunkers, there is a train track. Now it goes through one of the small little towns, but there is a huge rail line that's kind of going all the way through and through to the train station. And a lot of people think that we might get a full-on, travel system that you could take all the way from basically prison to the middle of the train station, or roughly around the middle of the map. Now, I personally don't think they're going to do that. I think if the dam gets blown and there's water flowing, I think that some of the bunkers will be flooded. Maybe bunker 11, you never know, but it is at a high altitude, so I don't think it'll probably be flooded. But I think a lot of the areas in the map will be flooded if the dam blows. So I don't think we'll really be using the train tracks, which could be cool. It would be definitely interesting for gunfights. That would be pretty fun, fighting in a train car. But yeah, I think that personally, the train tracks probably won't be used. I think they're there more for show. But it does lead to some interesting stuff. If we don't plan on moving to something like Urzikstan and we keep on Verdansk and we just, remove the red areas that are there right now, that would be an idea, because then the map would be absolutely massive, bigger than it already is, obviously. So using trains as sort of like a traversal system would definitely make the mode more interesting, which I would be open to. That'd be fun. Be cool to even drive the trains if you could switch the tracks on people. That would be really cool if you could flip the tracks from the end of the line so someone goes into the storm instead of going into the circle. That'd be a pretty nice troll. But yeah, I don't personally think that the rail system will be used, but I'm curious to see if they do it. Now, also, this is probably one of the most popular things that we're going to be talking about, but obviously the teasers of COD 2020, more specifically the Cold War Black Ops that we're beginning to talk about, or being teased about, I should say, in Verdansk, which is interesting because, Modern Warfare and Black Ops never really coincided. They never really crossed over. So this is pretty cool seeing, the RCXD and the Galil and the game files. That's pretty cool how they're teasing it, in slight, little messages here and there. That would be really awesome if we got the reveal of the new Call of Duty through Warzone. That would be pretty epic, which is, I think, what they're going for. We'll find out. We'll see what they're kind of doing with that, because it's pretty early for that. So I think they're still planning it out, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a massive reveal some sort of way in Warzone in Season 4. I think we're kind of bound for that direction. But I think finally the thing that we have to talk about, obviously, is the rumors of the new Urzikstan map. Now, shown here is obviously the map of Verdansk, and now the biggest difference between these maps is that Verdansk is solely comprised of not multiplayer, but ground war maps. So that is going to be a change of pace, considering the fact that Urzikstan is potentially or allegedly supposed to be just multiplayer maps. So this does make sense because, as we all know, if you go outside of Euphrates Bridge, the Modern Warfare 2 map Invasion is sitting right there, fully ready to play. 5 or 6 steps off that bridge, and you are literally in Invasion. Now, this would make sense because also another couple of locations that are projected is the Highway of Death from the campaign, the U.S. Embassy, Azir Cave, maybe Crash, maybe Takira's Backlot, maybe they'll throw that in there, or Hard Hat, those kinds of maps would make up Urzikstan, which would create a much different dynamic because all of the locations really in Verdansk right now are pretty big. You can traverse them quickly, but they're pretty large. Now, if you put in places like multiplayer maps, which are smaller, like the COD style kind of maps, it would make for a much quicker engagement, because you wouldn't be able to, run away, into a completely different building as easily as you can do now. So the dynamic of the game would change, and it might be better. Like, sure, I could see a lot of these maps connecting, like, Euphrates Bridge to the Highway of Death to maybe the U.S. Embassy, which would be absolutely one of the biggest and best places to drop, probably, especially considering how big it is, how cool it looks, the multiple levels, tight corridors, office spaces. That would be a really cool place. That'd probably be like the center of the map, or roughly the center of the map, maybe kind of like a TV station kind of thing. But definitely intrigue with Urzikstan. But that's really it for the big rumors and speculations regarding Warzone in Season 4, kind of the whole change and what's going to happen. But like I said in the beginning, feel free to like the video and comment down below what you think might happen. If you think something's gonna happen that I didn't say, feel free to tell me down below. I'd love to hear it. Love to see what all your thoughts are. But that's really it. Thank you for joining me in this episode of our weekly top 10s, even though it wasn't really a top 10. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.